You know what I say to that? I believe that's life saying, fuck the rules, man.
Okay. Yes, as you guys know, we had a little problem last week with our recordings. We actually completely lost Rhinos and Aliens, and I couldn't let the 18th episode of Sports from All Angles go because that was just too perfect. But we had some problems, but now hopefully everything's back to normal. We've been adjusting over the week. That's why the volume has been a little bit off. But where do you want to start? How you want to do the intro this time, bro?
I don't know if I'm ready, man.
Okay, well, next week then. All right.
All right.
All right. What's up, ladies, gentlemen, everybody in between? Thank you guys for joining us for yet another episode of Sports from All Angles. This is the 19th episode of Sports from All Angles. This is our show where the Rhinos and Aliens crew can come together and hopefully talk about the best and most random sports topics, but for right now we're talking about the latest news that interests us, and we're going to give you a little up to date on a little bit of everything. And do you want to start with some NFL football and then we'll go around the place?
Sure thing. Got to bring you the facts.
Okay,
Definitely. Okay. Recently in NFL news, the Rams beat the Saints. I was kind of surprised, kind of not. Rams won 26-20. How do you pronounce the name of the quarterback?
for the Rams.
Yeah. I want to say Goff.
Oh yeah, golf.
Okay, Goff. Yeah. He was 28 for 43, 354 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. For Drew Brees, 22 for 32, 246 yards, 1 touchdown. And we also have Cooper Kupp set a new single game high with 8 catches for 116 yards.
Oh, crap.
Kamara rushed 5 times for 87 yards and a TD, also catching 6 receptions for 101 yards and a TD.
Which, to point out, before the game, he was leading the league in rush yards per attempt at like 6.6, and you just pointed out before the show it's up to like 8.1 now or something like that.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get the ball often, but when he does, he's making a statement. And Mark Ingram is no joke either. He's averaging around 5.5. So who would have thought that the running backs are as big of a reason for the Saints' offense as Drew Brees is? So
Right.
And as we were talking about, it's the Eagles, it's the Vikings, it's the Saints, it's the Rams, and then everybody else in the NFC just seems to be fighting for the scraps. And I'm still surprised about those 4 teams, bro.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. Some of those teams I don't really have an interest for, but because of how much the league is just undergoing a bunch of, different anomalies here and there, it's just
and
like
the
you gotta
injuries,
pay attention.
And all the injuries, too. You more so have to be, like, interested in the teams now because all like Aaron Rodgers, Odell Beckham, all these stars are going down. So it's really hard to say, oh, I'm messing with this team because of the players. So now it's just respect greatness, So
Right. Gotta respect the teams that's holding on too. Carolina and the Jets. Carolina was 135 to the Jets 27. Cam Newton 11 for 28, 168 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Clay, 1 TD from a punt return of 60 yards. Funchess, 7 receptions and 108 yards.
Is that really his name, bro?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. It's called Funchess?
I mean, it's literally Funchess.
Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't mean to make fun of the dude's name. It was just that caught me off guard. Okay.
He's Funchess.
Yo, what did you get down the Panthers record? Because I think they're like 8-3 now or something like that. Because
no, I didn't.
I believe they won. Okay, I believe they're 8-3 because last week they were 7-3. So the Panthers are low key killing it. The Falcons. Are you going to bring up the Falcons? Did you have the game about them? There's no big deal about that because that's just
I had saw the game, but I'm not really into the Falcons, to be honest.
okay. Well, since we're on the Falcons, I do want to point out Julio Jones. Before we were talking, Julio Jones had 12 receptions, 253 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. And the crazy part about this is his 3rd career game with 250 plus receiving yards. And the reason why this is a milestone, he's the only player with 2, let alone 3. Every other player, the Jerry Rices, the Randy Mosses, the Terrell Owens, they only have 1. So it's you would think on that list there would be more players, like Calvin Johnson would have at least 2 or somebody like that, but no. And it's just it's impressive. So when he's healthy, he has the case because of his physique and everything that he is the best wide receiver. Mm-hmm. And then when you have a quarterback like Matt Ryan, however you feel about him, Matt Ryan can get him the ball. So, continue, bro.
Oh, okay. I was going to move on to the Philadelphia and Chicago game. Philadelphia won 31-3. Wentz, he was 23 for 36, 227 yards with 3 touchdowns. Ertz, 10 receptions, 103 yards, and 1 touchdown. Also, I wanted to put in there Mitchell Trubisky.
Yes.
His QBR was 0.5
out of 100. So it's not like 50. It's 0.5 out of 100. So, and QBR is a ESPN stat that considers everything, decision making as well as the stats, and his stats could have been worse, but I guess the decision making was so bad it's 0.5, which is you gonna say it's the lowest?
Yeah, it's the lowest since QBR usage dating back to 2006. I mean,
I will say this though, golf last year looked terrible, so there's hope because golf is killing it this year. The only problem is the coach for Chicago isn't known for offense, where the Rams' new coach is. So,
yeah. Also, I wanted to throw in there. He was Trubisky. He was 17 for 33, 147 yards, and 2 interceptions. Also, I wanted to say Wentz has thrown multiple touchdowns in 7 straight games, currently tied with an Eagles record. God. That's impressive.
Yeah, Donovan McNabb and another Eagles quarterback from the 60s who is a Hall of Famer. So that's some rare company right there.
Also, Wentz has 28 passing touchdowns, leading the NFL. Oh man, you just keep making the highlight.
Oh, you said 28, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's just. Oh yeah. 28. He's leading the NFL, and this will be the first time since. There's only 2 quarterbacks ever in their first or second year that's done that, and it's Dan Marino and Kurt Warner. So that's
you named some names right there. I want to bring up the Buffalo versus the Chiefs game. Buffalo won 16-10. Tyrod was 19-29, 183 yards and a touchdown. Jones, 3 receptions, 33 yards and 1 touchdown. Alex Smith, he was 23 for 36, 199 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Yeah, so I don't know what to say about the Bills. It's just this is typical Bills. They beat the teams they quote unquote shouldn't, and then they lose to teams that they should not. You know?
Yeah, it's flip floppy. Nobody understands it. Not even Buffalo people.
So it's Jamario, I know you're happy. How do you on some serious? How do you feel about the results? Do you think we're going to still make the playoffs now, or do you think this is just typical Buffalo? I will say this though, with the playoff field in the AFC, just because of how bad everybody else is, we might get in just because of that, you know. But
how strong are those chances?
Well, I think right now they're technically in the playoffs. So as long as they don't fuck up and the other teams keep fucking up, that's a good thing. But the Chargers are looking really good, and if I had to put my money in the team I trust more, I would say the Chargers. So We'll see how it plays out, though. But They're 6-5 now, so they have a winning record. Let's see if it stays up. And this is the year where if they do go 9-7, they could make the playoffs. So,
Okay, that'd be interesting. New England against Miami. New England won 35-17. Tom Brady was 18-28, 227 yards, 4 TDs, 1 interception. Gronkowski 5 receptions, 82 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
To go off of that, now Rob and Tom have 73 total touchdowns together. I know that makes Mike happy. So shout out to that. That's impressive. And this is the 5th most between 2 players in NFL history. And of course, number 1 is the dynamic Manning and Harrison combo. So, but the reason why this is so impressive, Gronkowski has now had 75 touchdowns since entering the league. And he's leading the league in touchdowns since 2010. But the crazy part is he's basically missed a season and a half of games. And he's leading. So can you imagine if he wasn't, quote unquote, injury prone? The stats would be...
It would be incredible.
Yeah, bro. It would be a beautiful thing. So... No, I love Gronkowski because he's a Western New York person. It's just... It's almost like a Derrick Rose situation to a lesser degree, to where, can you imagine if he didn't have these injury woes? He would already be at 100 plus receiving touchdowns, and he would be going for the records, where now there's no guarantee where he's going to end up.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah.
So pretty much screw injuries. That's sad.
Yeah. But still, you can miss a season and a half and you're still leading the league.
Yeah. Minnesota, I want to go into that game.
Okay.
Minnesota against Detroit. Minnesota won 30-23. Now their record is 9-2.
Yeah.
Keenum, 21 for 30, 282 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 passing, 1 rushing. Murray, 20 attempts, 84 yards, 1 touchdown, 46 long. Okay, that was a good run right there. Rudolph, 4 receptions, 63 yards, 2 touchdowns. I also wanted to add in defensive end Brian Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Questionable concerning his back injury. And safety Andrew Sindeo, he's questionable with a groin injury.
Before you move on, of all the teams, the Vikings is the most surprising from the NFC because they're doing it with Case Keenum, and everybody from the Rams last year are just proving how 1 year can make a difference. So that is the Vikings. They're winning with what is it called? A game manager, quarterback, and defense. And it's a nice thing to see when everybody's so pass happy and it's offensive driven this year. But yeah, and oh, that's right. The Vikings beat the Rams last week. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the Eagles. But yeah, it seems like now 7 straight games, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it seems like the only way the Saints, the Eagles, the Vikings, and the Rams are going to lose is if they face each other. So,
and that's going to be a battle, a clash. I want to see it. I know you want to see it.
Can you imagine the playoffs though? Like if we get those 4 teams in the NFC divisional round and the championship, what else would you want? That would be freaking amazing. Like something like Vikings versus Saints, the defense versus the offense, or you know what? A better matchup would be somehow Vikings versus Eagles, like the 2 balanced teams, and then the 2 offensive juggernauts of the Rams versus the Saints.
That would be nice.
Yeah. And the way it's playing out, we might... Oh, no. That might not happen. Well, we never know. But that would be the awesome situation. Vikings. So, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a sweet outcome, man. I also wanted to add Stafford. He was 20 for 35, 250 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception.
From the Thursday night game, right? I mean, Thursday game. Thanks. Stafford, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam Thielen has over 1,000 receiving yards, on pace to challenge Randy Moss's Viking record.
Yeah. So, and think about this too. He came out the woodwork, and he's doing this with what is considered a backup quarterback. and he has 1,000 receiving yards through 11 games. He's on pace for like that 15 to 1,600. So he's going to go down, even if he doesn't beat Randy Moss's total, he's going to go down top 3 of all time for receiving yards in the season. So that's, and I honestly, when I look at him, he doesn't look, he reminds me of like a Fitzgerald or a Hines Ward, like more so possession rather than like he's going to get the big receiving touchdown. It's more consistent. So
Hines Ward. I forgot about Hines Ward. Hands, man. Oh, man. I wanted to go on to talk about, it was something else in football that I'm just not pinpointing right now.
Are you sure, bro? We covered everything that we were interested in.
Oh, okay. Well, I still want to throw in these facts. Michael Crabtree didn't record a reception before ejection. First time in a 121 game career.
Yeah, so this is the first time his entire career, just to emphasize this, he hasn't had a reception. I didn't look specifically into like where that falls of all time, but 121 games, and this is your first time with no catch, so that's impressive. Consistency.
Yeah, I was about to say he's well paid for.
Before you get to your Patriots gloating, I want to point out, because I forgot to mention, Julio Jones is now number 1 in terms of most receiving yards in individuals' first 90 games. So he has now for his first 90 games 8,649 yards, which rounds out, he averages 86 receiving yards per game for his entire career. What was that about, bro?
Some good stats right there. Some good tea too.
Okay. Yeah, but so give some props to Julio Jones. In one game, he broke 2 records and 2 freaking significant records. So as long as he stays healthy, he's going to finish his career with the Terrell Owens and Randy Mosses of the people. But when you think about him, he's more so like a Jerry Rice, because he does keep his mouth shut. Because when you think about Julio Jones, I can't think of a situation where he is screaming for the ball or anything like that. And look at last year with the Super Bowl. Of all the games a wide receiver should have complained about, like, what are you guys doing, he still kept his mouth shut. So
yeah, you gotta respect the humbleness. I pretty much reacted like that because that is just mind-boggling. Oh man, you said like 86 yards?
Yeah, on average, through his first 90 career games, he averages 86 yards per game, which is, talk about consistency right there.
I salute you, man.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Just get this out the way.
No, actually, you've said that.
No, I didn't say the last one. The Patriots thing?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Patriots have 17 straight winning seasons now. It's an NFL record. I was going to be honest. I was looking at the Gronk thing again.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, the Patriots. You love them.
I love them.
You hate them. I do hate them. And what are you going to do? You have to respect it. And I know right now all the signs point to Tom Brady. I want Bill Belichick to coach another 10 years once he retires, just to show, yes, Tom Brady helped, but it was Bill Belichick who was the real genius here. Tom Brady, go screw yourself. Bill Belichick, I can't say anything mean about you, man. Keep doing your thing.
He probably gonna see this like 10 more seasons. I ain't signed up for that. What you mean?
No. I meant Bill, not Tom Brady.
Okay.
Yeah. Hell no, bro. If Tom Brady's playing until he's 50, he's just asking to be hurt, man. Well, let's get into some noticeable facts. We missed last week. Roy Williams, the coach for North Carolina Tar Heels, is the first individual in college sports history to win 400-plus games at two different programs. He won 400 and something at Kansas, which is currently the third most in Kansas history, and now he's stacking up the wins in North Carolina. And as long as nothing major happens, he's going to easily get 500, 600. So I want to give some love to the Tar Heels. Both of us are big fans of them.
Kudos, man.
Now to some football news. Real Madrid, this is the club that Ronaldo plays for. They have advanced to the knockout stage, or round 16 of a tournament. They reached the knockout stage of the European Champions League for the 21st straight time. And in terms of seasons, so 21 straight years now, they've reached the knockout stage, which is a record for that. And during the first 5 games, Neymar, who is the Brazilian stud, and Ronaldo have scored in their first 5 games. And this is significant because there are only 2 of 4 players to ever do this in history. And this league has been going on for 100+ years. So,
okay, cool.
yeah, so once again, Ronaldo's proving his greatness. And by the way, I actually want to tell you this. He made a statement saying, because he just had his 4th kid, and he has 4 MVP awards for soccer. I can't pronounce it. I forgot the word. But we talked about how he just won his 5th. My bad. Pardon me. He just won his 5th award. He made a statement saying, I want to have as many kids as I do awards. And then he said, and that's going to be 7. And that's some G shit right there, bro. It's like, so he wants 3 more kids, and he's basically saying, I got 2 more MVPs in me. So,
wow. I respect that. I respect that all the way. I don't think it's arrogance. I just think he's really confident in what he brings to the table.
Yeah. Well, the 3 kids is guaranteed. He's probably still going to be popping them out. And let's be real. When you're as good looking and you make the money that he does, it's surprising thing. His baby mamas aren't known. Like, they're not known to the public, so somehow he keeps them under wrap. Either the women want to stay under wrap, or he finds a way. Either way, that's impressive. And he still, as the European Champions League showed, 5 goals through the first 5 games. Only 1 of 4 players to do that, so that's...
Okay. I wanted to ask you something. Neymar, isn't that Messi's
teammate?
Yeah.
Not anymore. He actually got traded.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
he went to, I believe, a Italy league team, if I'm correct, because he wanted to prove that he's the man. So almost similar to Kyrie Irving, and just like how Kyrie Irving in the NBA is doing, he's showing. Yeah, there's a reason why I'm doing this. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Neymar.
Yeah. No, but you were correct. They did play for a while, but then when he says, "Okay, I'm tired of this," because another way to look at it, the team that Neymar used to play for, they were basically the Cavs of the European League, and
Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona. Yeah. For a while, Barcelona was like the Miami Heat, and then once Ronaldo went to Real Madrid basically became the Golden State Warriors, and then the shifting of powers left. And then Neymar said, if I'm not going to win any championships anyways, I might as well make the money and rack up the stats, you know?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
It's kind of funny how sports is very similar in certain situations. So, okay, but yeah, I'll do the college stuff, and if you want to just so you guys know, Brett, I don't know, Arkansas's coach, Todd Graham, Arizona State's coach, and Kevin Sumlin, Texas A&M coaches, they have all been fired in the past week. When it comes to Arkansas's coach, this was coming because he had a losing record, and he actually didn't even win 25% of his SEC games. So that was coming. Todd Graham, he started off great, and then the past 2 seasons have been pretty bad. And then when it comes to Kevin Sumlin, it's just, for some reason, Texas A&M thinks they're Alabama, and they expect 10+ wins every single season in a national championship game. And as Mike is laughing because he's a hole, Chip Kelly and Dan Mullen have been hired for UCLA and Florida. Chip Kelly is going back to the West Coast, and Dan Mullen is going back to his roots where he was the offensive coordinator for Florida between their 2 championship titles. And you want to say anything, bro?
I just want to see good football, and good football is all I know.
Okay. Well, one of those 3 fire coaches was not putting out good football, so
Yeah, I just didn't want to keep laughing.
just so you guys know, I'm excited about this Florida hiring just because I know the whole offensive coordinator thing is stretching, but when he was offensive coordinator for Florida, they ranked first in terms of the SEC. Number 1 in wins, number 1 in points per game, number 1 in yards per play, and number 1 in quarterback QBR. So this is the time with Tim Tebow, yes, but you have to imagine Dan Mullen was a big part of that because ever since then, they have not been able to get a good quarterback. So just want to point that out for any Florida fans. I know we have none, but hey, for future fans. Do you want to get into some NBA talk?
Oh, yeah. First, I want to start off with some facts before I jump into the games, you know. LA Clippers went on a 9-game losing streak, lost 11 of last 14.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cut and dry right there, fellas. You need to shape it up or get lost.
I just want to, Jamario, you can relate to this. The Lakers technically have a better record than the Clippers right now. And then the Clippers started like 5-2 or something. So I'm just as shocked as any fan of the LA area is. But, yeah, continue.
The Warriors have 740-point. Damn. Warriors have 7 40-point wins in the last 4 seasons. No other team has more than 2.
Is that surprising?
It's not, but to read that on paper is.
Yeah, because it was I forgot who they played. It was a game like on Wednesday or Thursday. They won by 40+ points, and it's just when they're on. See, when they take their opponents seriously, nobody can stop them. But
Yeah.
there's not much more to say about that. We just wanted to give you that random fact of the day.
I don't understand that though. When you're a high caliber team, you should be able to know that despite all the talent you have, upsets do happen. So you shouldn't play with your food, basically.
Well, the thing is with the Warriors, from my opinion, what makes them so great is also their biggest weakness in the sense they do pass the ball and all that stuff, but what I mean by weakness is when they're filling themselves or when they're not taking the opponent seriously.
Golden State, I mean, what can you really say about them, man? They have a loaded starting lineup. They have a good bench. They have a pretty good coach. I mean,
yeah. It's just they're just yeah, bro. Just move on.
okay.
I lost my train of thought.
Okay. The Rockets have won 11 games, went down by 15 points in first. 20 games, second in NBA history.
Yeah, so if the Warriors so far this year are the team that are giving up the big leads, the Rockets are the ones coming back from them. So it just one of those games, by the way, was when they were down by like 20-something against the Warriors. So
Right.
So when you think about that too, they've 11 of their, I believe they have 15 wins right now. 11 of their 15 wins are when they're trailing by 15+ points. Now, you could say, why are they in these deficits? But at the same time, they're finding a way to pull out the win. You know?
I was about to say it's better not to question it because they pulling it off. I mean,
Yeah.
it will raise eyebrows apparently if it keeps happening, but I mean,
A victory is a victory, you know?
Yeah, especially in a competitive league, you know what I mean? Let me read this last one. Kyrie Irving scored 30 points in less than 25 minutes against Orlando. Second time in Boston history.
Yeah. So, clarify. Boston has only had 2 players ever to score 30-plus points in less than 25 minutes. One was Kevin McHale.
Played in the Larry Bird era.
Yep. And then now Kyrie Irving. So,
Wow.
Kyrie Irving right now is my personal MVP pick.
I wouldn't see him not getting it. I mean, he is really he stepped in Boston and made a statement.
Yeah.
And he's sticking to it.
And I know right now his points per game is somewhat lower than what he was averaging with Cleveland and LeBron James, but I think he's more efficient. He's averaging more assists, and just the way he's playing on court, he actually seems interested. And his defense, if you watch him on the defensive end, he's actually putting up a fight now. So
it sounds like he's in his element.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing. We always loved Kyrie, so it's finally awesome to see him have his own team again, but to show what he can do when he actually has decent pieces around him.
Right. Awesome.
It's good, bro.
I wanted to put in there Paul Millsap could be out for 3 months with a wrist injury.
Yeah, that sucks for Denver because they were looking good. They had young studs coming up, and Paul Millsap was like that glue, showing them the way and keeping them together. So 3 months. So he's gonna be out until like the earliest he's gonna be back is like sometime in January, and he might be out until February. So that does kill some momentum, but we'll see how that works out.
Patrick Beverly also, he'll miss the rest of the season due to a knee injury.
Okay, this is gonna sound fucked up. It's just desserts. He fucked up Westbrook's knee. So the universe finally worked out. I know this is fucked up, but all I'm trying to say is if you watch that Westbrook play, this dude just straight up rammed his knee. Meniscus tear. Westbrook's like, okay. Not only does Westbrook bust his ass every time he sees him now. So yeah, okay, that was just messed up, but I'm just saying.
It's messed up, but you prove a point, and I'm on that boat with you.
Okay.
So we will get scrutinized together.
Yes. And by the way, I just want to point out, he's playing for the Clippers. So no love lost at all.
Professional. Okay. It pains me to say John Wall will be out for 2 weeks. Knee inflammation.
Yeah, this was a tough week for injuries, bro. And knee inflammation is such a scary thing, bro. Because it's not like, oh, he messed up his knee, it heals and comes, like he's like full, like he's fully recovered and he comes back. That inflammation stuff, it's those things that they never fully go away and they keep coming back. So I wonder if by the end of the season or at the end of the season, he does get some type of surgery. Because normally when you see those elbow, knee inflammation things, more often than not, it ends in some type of surgery. So, and he's always been known to have bad knees too. So,
yeah, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. 76ers, Magic game. 76ers won 130-111. J.J. Redick, 29 points with 8 3-pointers. Embiid, 18 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists.
God, he might be the most improved player just because he's staying on the court.
Right.
You know? But Guinness is also showing, like, he might... So, this might sound crazy. He might win most improved player back-to-back years. So...
That would be crazy.
Yeah. But statistically speaking, he's having a much better year this year than last year. So we'll see how the voters work that out. But if there's a surprise up-and-comer, then...
Okay. Oh, yeah, this totally skipped my mind. Rose contemplates the future of his basketball career, leaving the Cavaliers. He's been benched since November 7th with a sprained ankle.
Talking about Derrick Rose in like a previous comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about that time to hang it up. I mean, he already wore suits. Get
So,
used to him.
what do you think his body can't take it, or do you think it's a mental thing?
I believe it's a psychological thing. Yeah. I mean, like, if you, the way that I see it, when you get a tear like that, yeah, it's more you need to heal physically, but mentally you need to stay strong.
And believe in your body and yourself, right?
Yeah, and you see that with a lot of players that they don't come as intense as they did before because of that tear. I mean, like it's hard to be combative of that and at the same time be able to, properly heal and do what's right.
Yeah.
But we've seen a lot of people undergo it and still push through. Like just examples. Shumpert. Shumpert had a
Livingston. Livingston technically has the worst knee injury you can get, where you tear all three muscles and you mess up the kneecap. So if he can come back, it's sad because if you're a fan of the Bulls, you're a basketball fan. He was the youngest, and he still is the youngest player ever to win the MVP award. And it makes I think about what they could have been with a Derrick Rose in their prime and Butler, bro. Can you? I know they're very similar players, but Dwayne Wade and LeBron James had similar playing styles too, and we saw how that worked out. So I hate injuries because no matter what, it's always a what if scenario from then on out. And I know injuries is part of the game, but it's like, okay, some players are injury prone, as it seems like Derrick Rose, but other players just have that one freak accident, and it just completely ruins their career. Like, it makes me think about like the Grant Hills and stuff like that. How would their career be different if it wasn't for injury? It's one thing if you suck in professional sports because you mentally can't take it, Yeah. It's another thing when fate or your body takes it away from you. Fate meaning the freak accident, your body's just, they can't hold up.
Yeah.
And that's why you always have to consider injury in terms of the greats, because the Peyton Mannings, the Bradys, the Michael Jordans, the Kobes, besides like the end of their career or a part of like one injury, consistency. Your greatest strength is being able to step out on the court or on the field,
Yeah. And in my personal opinion, I think Ricky Rubio would have been better if it wasn't for that tear.
But did that tear really fuck up his jumper?
No. I wanted the bold-faced lie you, but I didn't have the energy for that.
He's a gifted passer, but man, I'm praying to God Lonzo doesn't end up like that. But in UCLA, Lonzo did prove he can't shoot, so hopefully that's just a slump.
Yeah. Tony Parker says he'll make season debut Monday from being sidelined with a ruptured quadriceps tendon.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up because I was reading an article that Tony Parker and Kawhi now have the same injury of something wrong with the quads. And let this sink in, bro. Kawhi has not played a game this year. So that is very concerning. Let us know how you guys feel about this. Do you think Kawhi Leonard's injury is serious or is just precaution? But he was supposed to start the season, and we're 20 games in now. So this might be an injury that changes his career.
Yeah.
And think about his trajectory. You say the word
Trajectory.
Yes, thank you guys. I'm having a long day. That was terrible. But yeah, he was improving like Guinness. Like from his rookie year all the way on. Every year, he basically improved every single stat line, Mm-hmm. And he was becoming the man of the Spurs. I'm very worried about the future of his career because whenever you mess with any lower body part in basketball, in any sport, it's
What my coach always told me, most of your jump shot comes from your legs.
yeah. The form is just your arm. Your arm has none of the power. It's the direction. It's the guiding force, you know?
Yeah. So, without it even being said, it's serious. Well, I just said it. It's serious. Okay. Rockets and Knicks game. The Rockets won 117 to 102. Harden 37 points, 10 assists. The Knicks couldn't hold on to an early 22-point lead as the Rockets kicked into gear, making 18 three-pointers and getting 44 points from their bench. Third quarter defense was key.
Which, by the way, that's where the Rockets comeback stat came from.
Yeah.
Because when we saw that, it was like... And the Knicks have been actually surprisingly good this year compared to expectations, you know?
Yeah. Michael Beasley dropped 30 points.
Wait, he's on the Knicks?
Mm-hmm.
He's a waste of talent. I hope he could get like a good... for you guys, Beasley was the number 2 overall draft pick. He was a stud at Kansas State. So I hope he could have a renaissance career, man. But, yeah. What was that next game, bro? Or continue on with that?
And I was just going to say that Quinn had 20 points and 15 rebounds.
Cool.
Alrighty.
It's promising for the Knicks. And, I just want to point this out, too. Did we talk about when LeBron James tried to bitch the foreign player?
Nope.
Bro, it's just... Of course, LeBron James gets in the face of a 6'5" player who's not from the United States. Of course. But continue.
The Heat and the Bulls game, the Heat won 100 to the Bulls 93.
Bulls 3-15 now. God damn.
Yeah. The Heat bounces back from scoring only 7 points in the first quarter. 7 in the first, and y'all let them come back.
Well, the Heat scored 100 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you do simple math, they scored 93 points in 3 quarters. Yeah. Great defense, guys.
Dragic led all scorers with 24 points on 7 for 11 shooting. I think that's pretty good. Let's jump to the Celtics and Pacers. The Celtics won 108 to the Pacers 98. Kyrie Irving drops 25 points and 6 assists.
I don't want to say some crazy stuff just because they don't have Hayward. I'm betting the Celtics win 65-plus games this year. And I think they can do it. And I would not be surprised if they do like 67, 68.
You know what? I'll agree with that. I just didn't want to jinx anything.
Okay, yeah, but sports, everything's jinx, you know, so why not?
Yeah, I just hope Kyrie doesn't get injured.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, when he's not forced to do something, I'm just going to say this. All his major injuries came when he was with LeBron. You guys could take that however you want to take that. Broken kneecap, huh?
That's really painful. Timberwolves and the Suns. Timberwolves won 119 and the Suns 108.
They're like 12-8 now. Yeah. They're coming together. And when you think about it, when you have Wiggins, Towns, and Butler, and they have somebody else too, but those are the 3 that are popping out to my name. That's, in my opinion, that's a big 3. Mm-hmm. Or it has the potential to be a big 3 once the 2 younger players develop, you know? So,
right, mature and get another couple things under their arsenal or not. But Karl Anthony Towns records a game-high 32 points and 12 rebounds. Mike James scored 26 off of Phoenix bench. That sounds like a good game to me.
Yeah. I just want to point out, when we get back to actually doing topics for Sports from All Angles, we need to do a topic about how John Calipari just continues to release these freaking number 1 draft picks. John Wall, you have Towns, you have Anthony Davis. It's like, I don't know how he does this. He just finds everybody.
Yeah, he pretty much does. Thank God for him. Cavaliers and Hornets. The Cavaliers won 100, Hornets 99. This is the seventh straight win over the. This is the Cavaliers' seventh straight win.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say it's their, 21st, or it's LeBron James' 21st straight win over the Hornets as well, just to put that out there. He only has one loss since Michael Jordan took over the franchise.
Okay. James, he put up 27 points, 16 rebounds, 13 assists, which records his 57th career triple-double.
And I believe third this season, so he
is
LeBron James.
Exactly. J.R. Smith, he made the tie-breaking free throw. He also had 16 points and 3 steals. That sounds okay. Let's jump to Golden State and the Pelicans. Golden State won 110 and the Pelicans 95. Clay scored 24 points. Steph missed his first 10 shots, but shook off the dry spell and led with 27 points and 6 assists.
Yeah, it's just Curry. I love watching him play. It's very artistic. It is, man. It's like Harden, right? When you watch Harden, it's not sexy at all watching this dude play. It just does not look good. Half his points come from the foul line. It's whatever. But when you watch Curry, it's just, wow. Or like Kyrie Irving, bro. Like the way Kyrie Irving can dribble, it's a beautiful thing. Yes, I got very sexual endo right there.
Yeah. That's all I can say to that. Let's talk about the. Oh man, that is all my games.
Okay, cool. So, did any of those games stick out to you? Is there any surprising teams so far? For us, it's obviously the West is pretty much the same. The East is just surprising how well the top teams are playing. And shout out to Detroit. They're second in the Eastern Conference right now as of this recording. So,
good job, Detroit. Because I had no faith in you. I'm not gonna lie.
No, not at all. I do want to point this out. Jamario, you'll love this. Lakers are in 9th place in the West. We're above OKC. Let that sink in. It's probably not going to last, but it's the hope. We're just one spot from the 8th spot. Yeah, we're going to get most likely swept by the Warriors, but who cares? We're in the playoffs. And when LeVar Ball guarantees something, it happens. So, I don't have any faith they're going to make the playoffs, but I have that hope. You know what I'm saying? And when I say faith, I mean my brain's saying no shot, but my heart is still there. So I just want to show some love to the Lakers. And Lonzo, we're going to move on.
That's a good fan right there.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Jamario, he's been showing a lot of support. He's a real fan because he still believes in Buffalo when he should not. But
okay, shouts out to you, buddy.
Yeah, but Jamario, let me know how you feeling about the Lakers. Do you actually believe they have a shot? Because it's hard for me to believe OKC is going to stay this bad. And if they do stay this bad, then Paul George is definitely dipping to the Lakers next year.
That would actually be a better move for him, honestly.
No, for many reasons. But my only thing is if they really do want LeBron James, how would they really work together? And, bro, as a player, I want LeBron James. But as a person, it's just he is a little – we're going to move on. But, okay, we're going to move to some college football. Bro, if anything fascinates you, you could always jump out.
Can I just randomly say something?
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns 0-11. Let that sink in.
Yeah. I do want to point out, since we're on this, the Bills beat the Chiefs in Kansas City, if I'm correct. That's impressive.
I can't take that away from the Bills.
Yeah, so some college football. Before we get into anything specific, I do want to say with Alabama losing, this is the 6th time the number 1 team has lost in the college football era. This is the key thing, though. Only twice have they lost by double digits, and both times have come in the past 2 weeks to Auburn. The Auburn Tigers are no joke. Last week they beat Georgia in a blowout, and this week they beat Alabama. So they might be the first 2-loss team to win the national championship in college football playoffs. So it's impressive. The key thing next week against Georgia, though, they might not have their 2 top running backs. So watch out for that. As I previously said, Auburn beat Alabama, and this is back-to-back weeks they've beaten the number 1 team. Alabama is officially 0-12 under Nick Saban when they're losing in the fourth quarter, when they're trailing entering the fourth quarter. So if they're losing entering the fourth quarter, you could put 99.99% of your money that they're going to lose the game. So a random fact about that. Shout out to Clemson's coach, Dabo Swinney. They beat South Carolina for the first time in what seems forever, back-to-back years, they beat South Carolina in straight-up blowouts. So, but the reason why this is significant, this is his 100th win. And it's his 100th in just 129 games. So that is tied with, what's his face? The coach for TCU. I can't remember his name, but the coach for TCU for the 3rd fastest in FBS history. So he's doing some things for Clemson, and right now, Clemson and Auburn are looking like the 2 best teams, and it's funny because their matchup earlier in the year, that 13-7 win, is looking very impressive now. So just want to show some love to them. Moving back to Auburn, though, their running back, Johnson, who might not play next week, he had 104 yards off of 30 attempts and 1 rushing touchdown. But now he's up to basically 1,300 rushing yards, and he has, I think I got this wrong, 18 rushing. I wrote down 17, but I think it's now 18. And if I'm correct, he missed 3 games. So he has 1,300 yards and 18 rushing touchdowns in just 9 games. So if he played those first 3 games, it would almost be guaranteed he would have 16 plus 100 rushing yards and over 20 rushing touchdowns. So, in terms of the 9 games he's played, he is the Heisman. He's the Heisman of this year. Now, most likely, the Heisman Trophy is going to go to Baker Mayfield because he is killing it for Oklahoma this year, and he became just the 10th player in FBS history with 14,000 plus passing yards. And many people are comparing him to Brett Favre because of his play style, his arm, and how he has he threads the needle and he's not scared of any type of pass. Yeah. If you guys are a fan of Skip Bayless, he is really high on this player, and he is looking forward to what he can do in the NFL because he's even more mobile than Brett Favre was. So that can be interesting.
Brett Favre, I mean, like, back in the day, Brett Favre was throwing passes without looking, man.
Bro, there's rumors that he would break wide receivers' hands if the ball hits you the wrong way. So, fingers, not hands, but... Yeah, so there's that. Keep it in the Big 12. Mason Rudolph, the quarterback for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, has officially surpassed Barry Sanders for the school record for most total touchdowns. He now has 45.
Past Barry?
Yeah, so that's...
Got my respect for life, man. Barry said...
No. If you want to say anything about that. Barry Sanders, that's still like one of the all-time great seasons, man, where he had like nearly 3,000 rushing yards, 37 rushing touchdowns.
Barry Sanders, growing up, my favorite running back, period. He's just so elusive. Just so, dude, their offensive line sucked. And he was running all over the field.
Yeah, from a talent perspective, he might be the best running back of all time.
Yeah.
I would put him with Jim Brown, because what Jim Brown did in his day, when you look at Jim Brown's stats, don't forget, most of his career, they only played like 10 games a season.
I remember talking about this before.
And he's the second, or he's the third all-time leading rusher, and he was playing on average 10 games a season. And this was back then in the NFL where like you would get smacked in the head and that would be a celebrated hit, you know? I'm just saying. That's okay, but since we're on running backs, the Wisconsin running back Jonathan Taylor has officially recorded. Oh, he had 149 rushing yards in the previous game. He now has 1,806 rushing yards for the season. He's a freshman. He's only behind 2 players now, and he still has at least two more games to go. So even if Wisconsin loses to Ohio State, they're going to play in a bowl game. So he still has at least 2 more games. So, yeah.
You said he's a freshman?
Yeah. He's 3rd all time in freshman rushing yards. And he's only behind 2 other players. Number 1 is Adrian Peterson. So when you could put yourself in the category with Adrian Peterson, that is.
If I had on a hat, I'd just throw that off and just make noises. Like, that is just, oh my goodness, hard hitting stat after stat. These boys are really playing hard.
Yeah. The only thing though is Ohio State, for when they're in a big game, especially against Big Ten opponents, their defense shows up. So, and last time Ohio State played Michigan State and Penn State, they did not get much rushing yards. So that's a key thing to point out. So he might not get the record, but yeah, man, as a freshman, that's beyond impressive.
Right.
Keeping up with the running backs, Royce Freeman, the running back for Oregon, which I still can't believe he's still playing. It feels like he's been there for over 4 years. He has the Pac-12 rushing touchdown record of 60 now. So wanted to show some love to him. Getting back to the quarterbacks, Drew Lock, the Mizzou quarterback, he has the single-season SEC record for passing touchdowns at 41. So the SEC isn't really known for the passers, but still that's an impressive stat. 41 passing touchdowns in one season is incredible. Yo, bro, you remember that one game I showed you the highlights for? The UCF-USF game? Central Florida versus South, where it was 3 touchdowns in like 56 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, please go see the highlights. That game is incredible. Between 2 Florida teams that nobody saw having a good year. Like when you think about Florida colleges, you think about the U, you think about Florida State, and you think about the Gators. This year, besides the U, the major programs have been terrible. But South Florida, even though they lost, they're still 9-2 under their head coach, who was coach for Texas. I can't think of his name, something strong. But UCF is 11-0 now, and this is their second time in the past 4 years where they're having a season like that, because they actually had a great season with Borders, the quarterback for the Jaguars. But yeah, man, that game was electrifying. Many people are saying it could be the game of the year. It's top 3 for sure. But go see those highlights. An incredible game. But the reason why I wanted to bring that up, their quarterback, Quentin Flowers for South Florida, broke a South Florida record for passing yards and total yards. He had 605 total yards.
What? Read that again. What?
605 total yards, and he was the quarterback who hit that one wide receiver right in stride to tie the game at 42 all. But of course, their kickoff coverage was jack crap. But anyways, moving on to the Ohio State, to give a positive note. Ohio State beat Michigan. Oh, well, Michael's a fan of Michigan, so yeah. But Ohio State beat Michigan for the 6th straight time and the 12th time in 13 meetings. And now Urban Meyer is undefeated against Michigan. And in that game, JT Barrett became the first quarterback in the rivalry to quarterback for Ohio State or Michigan to win 4 games against the opposing team. So the first time in this nearly 150-year rivalry, a quarterback went 4-0 against one another.
Wow, what's his name?
JT Barrett.
JT Barrett, screw you.
Yeah, I was saying this was good news for me. I'm a Buckeyes fan. Bad news for the Wolverines fan. But this is not going to be any better since JT Barrett in that game became just the second player in FBS history to have 40-plus rushing touchdowns and 100-plus passing touchdowns. Last week, he crossed the 100-plus passing touchdown milestone. This week, he passed the 40-plus rushing touchdown milestone. So it was a rough week for Michael. The Wolverines have not been good this year, so they're 8-4 now. Well, not good for Michigan standards, I should say. Let's abbreviate on this, bro. You have any thoughts about this?
You know what? At first I did, but I can't take away anybody's achievements. So
No.
I mean, kudos to them.
If you want to, at the end of the day, this is less so a Michigan problem and more so Urban Meyer greatness. When Urban Meyer is the coach for the Buckeyes, and when it comes to certain rivals, he just does not let them up.
Yeah, that's why I can only respect it.
And bro, to be honest with you, the Wolverines haven't even been the best.
Oh, okay. We just gonna cut it short right now.
Okay, shout out to the Spartans, who've been the best Michigan team in the state.
Yeah,
Michael can't deny that either. And last but not least, since Michael has some pain, I have some pain too. The Hurricanes lost. And unlike the Wolverines, where they lost to a better team, we lost to Pitt. And yeah, crazy stat. Pitt now is 4-0 when they're unranked and they're facing a top 3 team. 4-0. They have not ever lost when they're unranked. So, as I tweeted this when it happened, I'm not surprised. It just sucks. Undefeated season over. 15 straight games over. But if we beat Clemson next week, we're guaranteed into the college football playoffs. So my heart says we're going to win. You guys can take that how you want to take that. But yeah, that's all I have for college football. What stats or what lines stood out to you? By the way, if anything you want to point out, let us know, and we will actually talk about that. But
and if there's anything that was left out that you really wanted us to, emphasize or bring to light, just let us know. Because we're open to discuss anything.
Yeah, and if we messed up on anything, let us know in a respectful manner, and we apologize about that, and we will correct that next time if it comes up. But I think we did pretty good job fact-checking, but we're always willing to take those blemishes. Let us know about that. And what are you guys excited about right now? Because right now, all the sports are starting to pick up. We're in the final weeks of college. We're in the final weeks of NFL. What are you looking most forward to? Because honestly, from a football perspective, I'm really excited. I can't remember last time I was this excited for the NFC playoffs, and the college football playoff discussion is crazy. Depending what happens in the championship games is going to determine everything, so that's going to be fun. And the NBA, yet again, the Eastern Conference is surprising everybody. So we're going to see how long this lasts, because I think last year they were doing better than expected, and then after All-Star break, everything came back to the expectations. So
yeah. Before we leave off, I just want to say that I really hope this good sportsmanship keeps going on.
with what?
I mean, I didn't mean to say sportsmanship, but I mean like competitiveness and.
Oh yeah.
Cause down to the I'm having brains farts also.
Yeah, bro.
when it comes down to it, we all want to see a good game. We all want to see people give their attributes in the best possible way that they can to help their team win. So all I'm saying is, hey, Keep balling out. Keep balling out. And I root for the underdogs all day.
Yeah, really, especially in
Football.
NFL and NBA, and it's both those the conferences that are normally weaker. They're really stepping up, and it's the teams you weren't expecting. So that's interesting. And yeah, I just want to point this out too. The Vikings and the Celtics are very similar in the sense they lost a major player that was looking to be really good, and they're still rolling with strides. So
When is Hayward supposed to be back?
oh, he's done this season, bro.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so that's why it's gonna be one of those things. Is Hayward? I know this sounds crazy. Is he gonna make Boston better or worse next year? Especially if they do make the finals and they do finish with like 68 wins, because there's not much higher you can go than that, you know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how that actually works out. Now, common sense says, of course, it's gonna make them better, but you still never know.
That's true. They also have to go through a whole season without him being able to work on his chemistry with the team.
Yeah.
So that could be a detrimental thing. I mean, like, honestly, who was it? When you know what, that thought is not gonna come to me.
Okay. All right. Cool. We just so you guys know, we do apologize about if we were saying certain words too often, like me, him, Yeah, but we had some technical difficulties that if Michael wasn't such a calm person, I would have flipped out. So it's been a long day for us, but we had to get this out there, and we hope the audio came out well enough. So we're going to slowly tweak that, but thank you for sticking with us, and thank you for joining us for the 19th episode. I think I said that.
Yep.
Did we introduce ourselves, though?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. So that just shows how long of a day it's been. Yeah, so by our 1 year anniversary, we will have all this checked out. But yeah, as Michael likes to always say,
Like, subscribe, leave comments. If you have anything that you want to discuss, like I had already said before, we're open to it. Keep putting on your friends, and I apologize for more ums.
it's been a long day, guys. At least he sounds good when he does say it, right? And it's fluid. It's not like I said like, but it's not like he takes a pause, says takes another pause. At least it's fluent. So, but if Danielle was here, he would say, hit that description, and right there you could get all the information about direct links to our social websites such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're all on Facebook and Twitter, and we have a personal thing. We have a page as Rhinos and Aliens on Instagram. Danielle's also on Instagram, so go check him out. And if you want to talk to us personally or as a group, we're always open to that. We never get that, but the few people who do, thank you, and keep giving us the advice about what you want to see, because if you give it to us soon enough, we are able to put that in the next episode, from being a diving deep or from all angles or the Rhinos and Aliens show. So yeah, let us know about that, and we hope to see you next week for the 20th episode. And give us feedback if you like this more longer stance where it does hit an hour, but we get more personal conversations in there, because we do, no matter how fluent we are, we do start to, like, we do seem robotic when we're just spitting out the facts, because technically you could go to ESPN for that. But yeah, just
very true. Also, I do want to go back to thanking you, because without your support, we wouldn't have no reason to be up here. So thank you for everything that you do. And I said do. And let your friends know about us, family, whoever you think will vibe with it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
because we're trying to be professional for this, but for the other shows, we are a little out there. So it doesn't vibe with everybody, not even some of our friends, but
you never know till you try. That's what I'm. All
right. Peace out, everybody, and thank you once again.
Peace.
So, if you want to subscribe, just hit this bad boy up here, that big fat rhino. If you want the newest video, to the right.
If you want the recommended to the left, and then of course our personal dick pic. Yep, right below. So thank you for joining us once again, and we hope to see you next week. So peace out.
Peace.